Today on Hey, We're Talking, Derek makes us feel like complete crap. And the fact that neither one of them have talked is making my OCD explode. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hey, We're Talking. It's us. We're here. It's the guys from Hey, We're Talking. We have Mr. Derek Tant, and he's fantastic, Derek, aren't you? You're the most fantastic guy I know.
A lot of energy there, Scott, but yes, I'm fine.
And then you brought it down a little bit. That's good. And then we got Bob over here. Bob, how you doing,
Derek
man?
is super fantastic. Scott, thank you for having me as part of the show today. I appreciate it.
See, that was the opposite of what Scott expected. He expected me to bring the energy, and he expected Bob to be...
I know.
Meh.
Well, before the show, usually when we record this show, like, I get off of work. So I get off of work, I get home, I take off the nice polo or whatever I'm wearing, and I
the
gotta
polos are really nice.
They are. They're nice Nike
Really
polos.
nice.
But I have to go from work mode to podcast mode. I like have to switch. So it takes me a minute. So pre-show, Scott's always like, man, you just look a little down. You look, you okay? You're furling your eyebrows. Are you okay?
No, you brought up the furling. I didn't say that.
But you know what I mean. I looked angry, you said. But it was just
I
me
said
kind
you
of
looked like
getting in the zone.
I actually said you look like a crab ass.
You did say that. But no, I was
like
just
the-
trying to
I do
get
like
out
the
of
use
work
of the
mode.
word furling. Furling is fun.
What? You don't like crab ass?
It's
What
fine,
does
but
crab ass
furling,
look like, I wonder?
I don't know. That's
I just imagine like
Visuals
SpongeBob and Squidward and
I probably need to
Krusty
watch
Krab.
that. Should I watch that show someday? Because I have literally never seen a single SpongeBob.
So if you actually want to see a kid's show that
No.
gives you all these adult jokes,
Don't I need to be high to watch it?
no.
Oh, okay.
But watch the show now. See, now I just forgot the name of the show because you
SpongeBob
interrupted me.
SquarePants.
No, there's another one. Now I can't remember it.
I have no
There
idea.
is another one with this little dude, and he's got his friends and.
Jimmy Neutron?
No, I'll come up with it in
Okay.
a minute.
Adventure Time.
No, Chowder. Chowder is what it's called.
Chowder?
Chowder.
Never heard
So
of it.
if just find it and watch it. I guarantee if you watch that show, you will feel like you're high without being high. And then there's so many jokes in there for adults that whenever the kids watch it, I'm like, I got to watch this. Because even my teenage kids don't get all the jokes. It's hilarious.
What
it's
are
a
your
fun show.
teenagers watching a show called Chowder for?
Because it's a fun cartoon.
That's a good topic we should talk about someday. When did you stop watching cartoons? Like new ones, not the you can still we're going to talk about nostalgia later on this week, but not the stuff that you remember from your childhood, but the newer cartoons that come out. Like cuz I can specifically remember like you guys probably watched this, but like G.I. Joe
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I was done at G.I. Joe before that. Around that time, I was like not into those comics anymore, or the
Because
or
you
the
were like
cartoons.
32 when G.I. Joe came out in the early 80s, right?
No, not at all. No, I
No.
I just kind of liked the classics still, like the Looney Tunes, like Tom and Jerry. Yeah,
I still love that stuff. I don't have TV, so I don't get to watch it, but I'd still like to see
you
it.
have access to it. You have a TV, and you can play stuff through your TV.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on Netflix or Hulu, sure. Other than that, no.
But you
I
can
don't have
stream.
anything.
Don't you have anything that'll let you stream onto the TV?
Not really.
You don't have like a
I mean,
Roku or a Google.
I have an Amazon
Chromecast
Fire
or-
Stick.
Yeah, then
Oh,
you can
Yeah,
do stuff
so
through that.
I mean,
That's
that's
all
the
you need.
stuff. Yeah, that's
And
what
you
it's
probably did the thing on the Amazon Fire Stick already. You got everything at your fingertips, don't you?
I would never jailbreak.
Cody. You codied it.
I would
You
never
liar.
jailbreak an Amazon Fire Stick. I wouldn't. That's illegal. But if you do it, Get a
Cody.
VPN so they can't detect your area.
Cody.
Just saying.
Wow. That seems very
Yeah.
specific for somebody who's never done that before.
Never done it.
Okay.
Nope, I wouldn't. I think
Derek,
it's,
are you're a streamer too, right?
Yeah, but that sounds vaguely dirty. To what
No,
you
it's
said.
not a streaker, a streamer.
Yeah, still sounds kind of weird. But yes, I have Netflix and Amazon Prime
Yeah.
here.
As soon as I can get out of DirecTV, I'm just going to do probably YouTube TV because everything I'm reading, that's probably the best. If you still want to have access to some TV shows. But Hulu almost has everything that comes out.
Hulu and Netflix is pretty. I mean, that's a pretty good combination right there. We do have Amazon Prime too, and I've watched some stuff on there, but I don't really get that format.
You'll be surprised if you look around on Amazon Prime, the stuff that you have for free. There's so many good things available. You need to check that out.
So I am on episode 4 of Arrested Development.
Uh-oh. What do you think?
So far, so good.
Did you laugh?
I haven't. Not really. Not like real out loud laughs. Some internal laughs. But
I don't think Arrested Development is like a guffaw show.
So I'll have to see how this goes. But I'm
grinning,
going into season 4, episode 4.
If you're like, that's funny, then it's pretty good. Yeah.
I think it's going to continue to build. I think I just finished season 1.
Okay.
I'm at that point with my shows. I'm kind of at the end of a bunch of seasons, and I'm thinking, do I want to go on to the next season or do I want to find another show? I do that. I need to just bite the bullet and start season 2 of Peaky Blinders, season 2 of Arrested Development, etc.
Yeah.
But
I like to watch one from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just kind of my thing, because I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. So when I get into it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna binge watch this over the next, as long as it takes me.
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna dedicate myself to this show, and then after that one, I'll move on to something else.
That's what we did with Sneaky Pete this time, the season 2 of Sneaky Pete. Like, we just basically, when Cheryl would get done with work and we would have dinner and stuff afterwards, we'd just sit down and watch 1 or 2 episodes at a time, maybe 3 if we were lucky. And that was all we watched. There was nothing else. Like, we just let everything kind of pile up behind it so we could get through the whole thing.
Yeah, we've got a few TV shows that we've got like 1 or 2 episodes stored up, but I mean, and we'll go and catch up on that because they're current series. But other than that, we just binge watch whatever extra entertainment that we have. We did that with the TV show Ozark. That's all we watched until it was done.
That's what we did too.
We got caught up on our other episodes.
The thing I hate about it is, I'm sorry, Derek, I was just going to say the thing I hate about when you're done, though, is then you've got to wait, like sometimes upwards of more than a year for the next season to come out, and you're just kind of like Cheryl said when we started watching Sneaky Pete. Do you remember anything that happened? And luckily, they had like an actual little trailer that said, here's what happened last season on Sneaky Pete.
I like when they do that.
Yeah.
Well, I just watched Sneaky Pete like a couple of months ago, so it's still kind of fresh in my coconut there. So it shouldn't be a problem for me to go on to the next season. But there's also a show on Netflix that not a lot of people talked about, and it came out a couple of years ago. It was with Drew Barrymore and Timothy Oliphant. I think that's the guy.
Yeah.
It's a show called Santa Clarita Diet, and Drew Barrymore becomes like a zombie, basically.
But not like a gross, she's still human looking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a comedy. It's kind of a comedy. And like a sitcom type thing. It's really weird. But I was able to just binge that whole thing, and it was really good. And the new season's supposed to be out this month. I need to see when it comes out, because if it's out now, guess what I'm watching?
Yeah, I think it actually did, because she was on Jimmy Fallon on like last Friday or Thursday, so I bet you it's out. I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. I tried.
I like the idea of it, but I just haven't made time to check out the first episode.
I might have to give it a try again, but I just couldn't get into it for some reason. Part of the thing is Timothy Oliphant, was in this show called Justified, which is one of my favorite shows ever. And him being like this kind of just weird, normal dude on this show was very strange. Like, I don't think it and plus, I know I'll get in trouble for this, but Drew Barrymore kind of bothers me sometimes. I'm
Why?
gonna be real. I don't know. It's just something about her face. I want to slap her. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just I don't know, something about her I don't like. I don't know.
That was
what
like
it is.
Tori Spelling. She was always one to me that I just wanted to like.
Yeah, it's a
Cringe.
little weird.
I get that about Tori Spelling, but Drew Barrymore, don't bother me. It's a good show, and the new season premieres on March 23rd. Which,
okay.
That's I guess whatever.
It's on.
I mean,
it's out now.
It's out now.
It's March 26th, so it's out.
Yeah, so I guess I watched it 3 days ago, and I enjoyed it.
Anyway, so listen, let's take a break here because that's just a great little break in the action and come back. We're going to talk about something. I don't know what possessed. I don't know who put this on the sheet, but somebody put something on there about being OCD. Okay,
Yeah.
and you may have opened Pandora's box here. So we'll come back. We're going to talk about obsessive compulsive disorder after the break.
Clickbait. Yeah, we didn't talk about it immediately upon starting the show, so it's just clickbait.
Oh yeah, you could start the next episode, the thing on that, Scott.
What, on clickbait?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. After the break, we'll come back and we'll clickbait you again. Today's show is sponsored by Gamefly.com. 30-day free trial. Go to Gameflyoffer.com/HWT. Oh, I don't know. I don't like the way that one started. I feel like I need to turn the lights on and off 10 times before we get going.
Why?
It's a joke. It's an OCD joke. Is that what they do? OCD people, they have to do things
Well,
in numbers?
some people, yeah.
Okay. I don't do the number thing for sure. But I think I obviously am not full on obsessive compulsive, but I've got some
Routines.
Yeah, I get into, especially like anything to do with getting ready. So like if I take a shower, I set everything out. I put things in certain places. I think, well, okay, get into more detail on that, because I think that right there, you mentioned that on one of the episodes, and that's what brought up this topic. Okay. So, yeah. So when I take a shower, I'm going to walk you guys through the whole kind of deal. So I take a towel and I lay it out across the bed, because when I'm getting ready after, I like to kind of, I don't air dry, but I don't like just stand up and dry myself off. I kind of sit down for a second. I have a fan. It goes back and forth, and I kind of take my time. I read or listen to some music while I'm getting ready. And, but when I I put a towel down.
I don't think we need those details.
First,
I started drying off the boys.
No, I don't play with myself or anything like that. I just dry off, but I don't.
It sounded like you were setting a mood.
I don't stand up and dry off like really quickly, like probably most people do. So I take my time.
Take my time.
I enjoy the time with myself.
Right, but. When I'm getting part of the reason that I have some of these routines is like the water at our house takes a while to get hot for some reason, to get through all the pipes and get to the shower. So I turn the shower on, and probably for like 2 minutes I'll let it run. And after I turn it on, I go and I set the towel out, and I lay out the clothes that I want to wear. I sound like a crazy person, and. I'll usually play, like I'll listen to a podcast or something in the shower on my little Bluetooth stereo thing. But my shower only takes me like, I don't know if you guys are like this. My shower's done in like less than 5 minutes. It's not like I'm lingering around in there, taking my time during the shower.
What podcast can you listen to in 5 minutes?
No, I listen to it after I get out too. That's the whole point. So I take the speaker with me.
So have you contacted whoever that podcast is and be like, I typically listen to your show naked.
No.
The Naked Shower Podcast.
No. So, but I also...
Don't steal that name. We own that name now, the Naked Shower Podcast.
No.
We own that.
Somebody probably has done that already. I wonder if that's out there. I bet you if you looked it up, you'd see that.
I did make a YouTube video from the shower once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Penon's done that too, though. Do you remember me telling you about that? I think we talked about it on the show that was on.
I know we're derailing you, Scott.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Probably.
But I take my shorts and my underwear off when I get to the shower, and I kind of like usually hang them on the doorknob, and get into the shower. It's so stupid, dude.
So that nobody disturbs you.
Yeah, it's to warn people. No, and then I just go through the routine, get out and dry off and all that kind of stuff. But I don't rush through it. But everything I do like that. If I cook, I lay things out the way I want them. And like if I'm cooking downstairs and she'll usually
Wait, you cook upstairs?
Cheryl's office is upstairs.
Oh,
You'll hear what that means
downstairs.
in a minute. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm on the main level and I'm cooking and I've got everything laid out. And Cheryl, usually the dogs go up with her, and they don't have to, but they just, they like her better than me. So they go up there. And if she comes out while I'm doing all this stuff, this is when I say that I do have the OCD. If the dogs come running down and start acting like fools and stuff, it gets me I get very irritated because I have a process that I'm going through while I'm cooking or whatever. And if they're running around going, ah, 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 and like jumping on me and stuff, I get all freaked out and I get angry.
Okay. So what you're saying is that you are organized and you like to plan things out, and that you get irritated when your process gets interrupted, and that makes you obsessed. It makes you believe that you have obsessive compulsive disorder.
No, I don't believe that I have that. That's what I said at the very beginning. I don't think I have OCD. I think that I have routines that I get into. I'm very process oriented when it comes to certain things. Like the podcast, I'm not. I don't care about the process of the podcast. You guys both get mad at me for that. I mean, I do have a process when we get going. I sit down, I have everything set up the way I want it on the table, but I don't, we don't go through.
I don't recall ever getting mad at all.
No, I don't think so either. I think, Scott, you're the only one that's been actually mad.
You guys are so full of crap. It's ridiculous.
You're the one that usually gets angry before the show.
And you're always late.
Yep.
Never on time.
If anyone that knows me at all knows, I am not late to anything. I'm always early. Always.
Or 2 minutes beforehand, you go, hey,
I'll tell you if I'm not going to be there. No, I don't say change the time.
Taking a naked shower, listening to a podcast.
I don't say I'm going to change the time. But I do say if I'm going to be late. Because I think it's very disrespectful when people tell you they're going to be somewhere at a certain time and then don't show up. Because they don't respect your time if they do that.
I agree.
I feel that's a slap in the face.
So that's kind of part of my OCD thing. So, me doing logistics and kind of knowing how long it takes to get from here to there, wherever we're going. That's kind of my thing that I get obsessed about, is the fact that, when you're dealing with two teenage kids and, a wife, and I know that I want to leave by this specific time to get there on time. But I also know that I leave a little bit of cushion within my time. And that way, because I expect them all to be late as it is. So I say, okay, well, we have to leave by this time then. And that time passes. Well, we got like 3 more minutes. So let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And we always wind up being late. And it's not on me. It's on everybody else. And I'm the one typically waiting. But then I get angry about it. That's where my OCD comes in. Because if I'm late, I'll speed to get there and try to be there on time and all that stuff. And that's kind of messes me up there.
I think what it really boils down to, and we'll have to see if Derek has the same issues, but part of it is just like, as a man, I think a lot of times you want to control situations and you don't have control over those other people because they're not doing what you want to do. So it's irritating because you have this plan in mind and everybody else is just kind of like, oh, we'll just get there when we get there. And you're like, no, we're supposed to be there at this time. It's like, has anybody said this to either of you guys with somebody who doesn't show up on time? Do they say, just tell them it's a half hour earlier than it really is? Has anybody ever told you that?
Yeah.
That irritates me even more, that I would have to tell somebody that something happens a half hour before they're really supposed to be there so that they'll show up on time.
Or that's like the people that allow the clock in their vehicle to be, different than the actual time. So they feel like they're going to be late, but then in their head, they know that clock's 3 minutes fast.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's like, no, just set your clock to the right time and show up on time.
Yeah.
Derek, do you have anything that you would consider or maybe wonder if it's OCD?
Not really.
I knew it.
I'm gonna I'm gonna attack both of you guys right now. Well, not really attack. All right. I think
Ouch.
obsessive compulsive disorder, it's a thing. And I think a lot of people, when they have tendencies to be, when if you tend to be organized, if you tend to have a few rituals, or you tend to be regimented in your daily routine, and you get irritated or upset when that's messed up, that's human nature. That's just being a person.
Human nature. Why
I stop.
do you
You're
do
messing
it
with
that
me.
way?
No. I think obsessive compulsive disorder is a thing, and there's a guy on YouTube. I met him last September. His name is Max Cooper. Goes by Gribbly on YouTube. I met him in North Carolina, actually.
I'm really excited to see where this goes, by the way.
He actually has obsessive compulsive disorder, and I think he did a series of videos talking about it, and he kind of mentioned the same type of thing. Is like everybody he says there's people out there that get irritated when their routine gets interrupted, and that's one thing. But having actual obsessive compulsive disorder, it harms your ability to actually function. You have things that you can't control. You want to do them, or you have these thoughts that intrude in your mind and you can't get rid of them. That's the obsession. The compulsion are the things that you must do, that you must get done. I've got to do this, I got to do that. And it's a huge form of anxiety. It's really what it is. It's anxiety. And it really messes with your daily life, your ability to function. And so for someone like him, maybe he gets a little irritated when the normal foibles in life upset us and get us irritated, and we try to call that, it's just my OCD kicking in, when it's really not. That's just you're a human.
Well, the show's over.
Yeah,
Derek just
now
shut
I
it
feel
down.
like we've been
Bashing
told that
somebody.
we're jerks for thinking that we might be sort of OCD, because I don't think I'm OCD. I mentioned that numerous times, but it's almost like so you're telling me he's kind of like the Jack Nicholson character in As Good as It Gets.
Maybe. I mean, he doesn't really he doesn't talk about his particular specific
Is it bad that we just outed him, or did he do a video about
No.
it?
He talked about it in his video. I mean,
He's like, oh crap,
he's
gonna be like,
he was very public about it. He doesn't mention his specific compulsions or his specific obsessions, but he was very open about how it can, if you allow it to, it can affect your daily life in a severely negative manner. And he says that's difficult when you're a man and you have responsibilities, you have children, you have a wife, you have a job, and that affects that. So it's okay. Like it's not, don't feel like a jerk if you're calling your particular quirks.
It's too late. You made us
OCD.
feel so terrible.
I know. I feel terrible now. Now I'm looking at Gribbly's, YouTube channel and all that stuff, and now I feel bad.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best out there in the YouTube pipe community.
So
I mean, he doesn't have Derek Tant numbers, but
Yeah.
he's got 831 subscribers on
Yeah.
831. So
yeah. So anyway, here's the deal though. We're poking jokes at ourselves a little bit. Let's be real, because I know I don't have that. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. It is people that, if you really have that, it can be debilitating. It's just like can paralyze your whole life. Just because I get angry once in a while doesn't mean I have it. But it is funny sometimes when you think about the stuff that you do. And if you, like the other day, for example, again, when I'm getting ready, I have a very strict, not on purpose, but it just ends up being that way. When I get up in the morning, I do my neti pot on my nose. I put my contacts in. I brush my teeth. And then I get in the shower.
Yep, and that's your process.
But if I accidentally, something comes up, like the other day, I had to take the dog out in the middle of that. She was crying a lot, so I took her out, and I hadn't brushed my teeth yet. Later on in the day, I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't brushed my teeth. And it freaked me out, because that is part of my process. So
yeah,
it's weird.
I think that's what I'm full of. I'm full of processes. So when I do the whole shower thing, I put the deodorant on the sink. I put the hair gel if I'm using that, the razor, the shaving cream, everything that I need, the Gentleman Jim beard oil. I put everything I need right on that sink. That way, when I'm done showering, I could go through my process and get everything done.
I do the same
and when
thing.
I get thrown off my process, I kind of like, all right, where was I? What did I do? What did I skip?
Have I dried my nuts yet?
No, that's.
Is that what you do? You go, I haven't dried my nuts yet.
I just stand there naked, just like.
You air dry, just like in Jerry Maguire. Do you air dry?
I don't. I take a towel and rub it all down, and
you don't get the Jerry Maguire reference, do you?
No.
Tisdale. Okay. Anyway.
No, I don't know. You had me at hello though.
Derek, do you?
I think
there you go.
That's all I know.
I think we've explored a lot of interesting things today, and I think we need to come back at some point to Scott's pre and post shower ritual.
Why? Why is mine so weird?
Look, it's just bizarre. Okay, I mean, I get it. You need to air dry, and you let the fan on, and
it's so weird.
It sounded like you were setting a mood. It's
no.
I take my time, guys.
I light the candles, and I stand in front of the fan and just allow my body to be air dried, all natural.
Yeah. No.
Do you stand in front of the fan?
No.
Don't you get cold?
No. I don't stand in front of the fan. You goof.
So you sit your naked butt on your bed all wet, and then your bed's
I told
all
you
wet.
I have a towel laid out. I have 2 towels, one to dry with, one to sit on.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about Scott's hygiene practices.
What about yours, Derek? Do you have any?
Anytime.
Since you've been poking holes in all of ours, making us feel bad?
No, I actually think that what we should take away from this is that you should feel good, even if you have these foibles and you think, oh my gosh, I'm OCD. No, you're probably not.
No.
You're probably not OCD.
Not at all.
You can call it that. It's fine. I don't think there's like a group of OCD people that are like,
be though.
That's
there
our
might be
word.
Some OCD
There might be
trolls.
some OCD snowflakes. You don't know.
So
They might think this is
know.
clickbait when they find out we don't actually have OCD. They could get very upset and call us names.
But if you do have OCD, go to Gribbly and he might be able to help you out.
You're not alone. If you have OCD, please call 1-800-OCD.com. I just made a phone number and a website all in one.
That's ours too.
How do you put
can't
the
take it? Make it
how do you
shower
put the
podcast.
dot on your phone? The star?
I think you have to say it. Dot. I don't know. Do you think there'll ever be a time where people don't use actual real phones? Like not cell phones, but actual real phones, like home phones.
I don't know. I think the landline is still an important part of the government and offices and businesses. And
If you go to OCDHotline.com, there's a number
Are you
on
joking?
there.
Is it real?
No,
Okay,
serious.
tell the number.
I'm not going to tell the number.
Yeah, tell the number in case there's people.
Well, this is
listening who
just
need
for
it.
New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
Oh, then screw that. We don't care about those East Coast people. I'm
So we need
kidding.
to find a national.
We love you all so
find
much.
a national OCD hotline.
You got me all excited that you were going to actually have a phone number.
Oh, I do.
Oh, he does. The national hotline for OCD.
It's let's see here, obsessive compulsive disorder. Oh, where'd the number go?
Oh my gosh.
And this is just
That's
backfiring.
terrible.
there's
Maybe I
a
need
thing
to
called
revisit-
Google. If you really
Google it.
if you really need to get in touch with the obsessive compulsive
Yeah.
hotline,
So it
I
says-
doubt that this is the show that's gonna get you.
What
to
if we
turn
just
a-
what if we just help one person, Derek?
That's what matters,
it's
Derek.
worth.
Just if we reach that one person. So according to this, you can call the National Alliance of Mental Illness.
Oh,
It's 1-800-950-NAMI. That's 1-800-950-NAMI.
NAMI?
Or, yes, that's the National Alliance of Mental Illness.
That
Or you
sounds
could
terrible, though. To tell
That's
people
what it
they have
is.
a mental illness.
Well, that's what it is. Or you can text the word NAMI, N-A-M-I, to 741-741.
This sounds like a lot of work.
Ooh, Nami! If you want to sponsor, hey, we're talking. Just give us,
We are all of us are slightly touched in the head, so we might be able to get that sponsor. All right, listen, let's wrap this one up. And since we're wrapping it up, I'm looking at the clock, and of course, I got a little OCD about the time, and that's why we have to wrap up the show. See how I did that? Look what I did
Yep.
right there. Derek's going to tell me after the show's over, though, that I'm a jerk for saying that I don't really have
Because people really struggle, Scott, and you need to be in touch
Oh,
with
now
them.
you're on with it too? He said bad
realize
stuff
that
to
I
you.
don't have it. I realize I don't have it thanks to Derek.
I know. Derek helped two people today. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, Derek.
Guys,
Dr. Derek,
go check out our Facebook, our YouTube. Subscribe. Press the bell. Tell everybody how awesome it is. And if you're new to the show and the people that say that we make clickbait and stuff like that, dude, I love the interactions. Please continue to argue with us. I usually answer. So if you get mad and think those guys are jerks, it's just Scott. I mean, let's be real. It's just usually me. Because I'll even say, yeah, we need to tell Bob to do that, or Derek too. You know, so it's me, okay, just so you know. Especially like when my wife comments and I'm like, oh, you're so cute or something like that. It's not the whole show, it's just me. Just so you know.
Which you need to stop doing that, because then your wife messaged me, why'd you call me cute? It became this awkward conversation,
really bad thing.
And it didn't work.
Okay. So anyway, thanks for listening. We're coming back on Wednesday with some musical history, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. We're going to do the month in music. Oh, wow. The month in music history for April.
Okay. Bob had a little struggle there. All right. Let's get our process in order and get ready for Wednesday's show. We'll talk to you then.